what's up you guys, it's Simon. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I wanted to do a challenge that I've seen floating around here on YouTube lately, and that is the using all of my blank color art supplies. So today I thought I would use my blues because clearly I have a lot. So getting straight into it, I thought it would be fun to create a character sort of around the color, and I don't know why it took me so long, but I finally created a My Hero OC. So I don't know if you guys have seen My Hero Academia, but it is an amazing anime and you guys really need to hop on that as soon as possible. It's on Crunchyroll, it's on Hulu, what are you waiting for? Anyways, I decided I would sort of create like a water-centric character. I'd seen like a lot of these illustrations by I'm totally gonna say this wrong. I believe it's Meyoko, but it's Meyoko, and they do like a lot of like water-based illustrations, like things in like I guess water where it shouldn't be, so like perfume bottles, bomber jackets, things like that. Very, very cool illustrations like that, and I was really inspired by that. So I tried to make her skin sort of like this clear, I guess like an exoskeleton, sort of, but it's like this thicker outer layer of like plastic, and then the inside would be hollow, and it would be like, where I guess the fluid in her body is so weird. It's not like blood or anything. It's just sort of like, I guess where humans are made of 70% water, she's more like 95% water. And so, yeah, I sort of did that. I tried to illustrate, like, I imagined like the areas where, there would be more pressure, so where everything was sort of centered to, like the bottom of her chin, any bent appendages, so like the bottom of her elbow or where her thigh is like sitting would be a darker color, just because of like I think like the ocean, the deeper you go, the darker it gets. So I wanted to sort of create a gradient with that, which was very helpful because it allowed me to use a lot of the art supplies up that way. Most of my art supplies obviously are Copic markers, and so that sort of made this challenge really easy for me because like the best thing about any alcohol marker is that you can blend them, and so that gave me the cheat to be able to use a lot of colors. Speaking of colors, I allowed myself to use a white gel pen just because you'll see in most of these videos the artist says, oh, I'll allow myself to use white or black because they're technically not colors, and so I did let myself use a white gel pen. I didn't use black just because I felt like I had a lot of blues that were close enough to black that would allow me to get that sort of tonal difference that I didn't really need to use an actual black. So yeah, but I guess I'll talk a little bit about the hero herself. So her name is Mizuko, and please correct me if this isn't wrong. If this is wrong. I am learning Japanese. I'm just not that far yet, but I believe her name means like water child, or like it also says pure character. I don't know if both are correct or if one is correct, but I was trying to give her sort of like a water-centric name. And then as for her hero name, it's a little bit stupid, but it's the human water bottle because I have this stupid joke where I always call the genist the human jort, just because like I can't get over it. He jeans on everything. It's horrible, it's terrible, and he would be the type to wear jorts. Don't come at me, I'm right. So I guess I thought it was really funny, so I wanted to sort of incorporate that joke into her character. I don't think she likes the name very much. I think she probably came up with it probably the same age that all the other kids did, probably like their freshman year. I think technically they're like in high school, but obviously it's not regular high school. But anyways, she's still sort of in that like funny, edgy phase of her life when she came up with her hero name, and I think she probably regrets it now, but it's too late to change it. So there you have it. For the materials, I kind of use a bunch of different things, but what you guys are going to see the most of are definitely my Copic markers, because I have a lot of them. Looking at it right now, I have like this Copic shelf that's about, I want to say like maybe a foot tall, around there. Yeah, I'd say about a foot tall. And then there's like these little 4x4 squares, and my blue section is like literally stuffed to the brim. I'm not even close to having all of the blues, but I do have a large amount of blue Copics, so you will see me use them all over the place for a ton of different things, whether that's like for her skin, which her skin is about, I'd say, probably like mostly Copic markers, and then I do some like detail shading with some colored pencils you'll see later, but most of them are my Copics, so you might as well just consider this a Copic coloring video rather than using all my blues, because mostly all my blues are Copics. So, I guess I could talk a little bit more about the character herself. She's not 100% developed yet. I did ask you guys on Instagram, like, a little bit, like, what you guys wanted to see from her, what vibes you guys were getting, because I was just struggling. After I came up with the human water bottle joke, I was like, haha, that's funny, and then I had nothing else. So, I asked you guys a little bit about, like, how you felt about her design, and how, like, you felt like her character would be, and you guys gave me some great ideas. She was not this cute when I first posted her. And you guys came up with some really good ideas. There was Nicole, Lily, and Ryan. She was awesome. She recommended that I like put these like big circle glasses on her, and maybe like give her like some teardrop earrings that were like water droplets that were so cute. I don't know how I didn't think of that. And then a couple of you suggested making her hair a little bit longer, or not longer, shorter and white, which I thought was really good. Something about like the cap of a water bottle. But the biggest trait about her is that she doesn't like to show off her skin, because I feel like she's sort of like the anti-version of Momo. She really does not like to show her skin at all. I think she's really insecure about the fact that like it is see-through, and you can see like all of her like, I don't really know what this liquid is. It's not like her blood, it's not like her organs or anything. I don't really know what it is. Like I said, she's not 100% developed yet. I just do know that she's pretty insecure about it. She doesn't like to show it. That's why I put her in a long sleeve shirt and really long stockings, but I did keep like her like thighs and her calves exposed, just because like obviously, as you can see with her hands, she's sort of like Momo in that way that like obviously her power comes from her skin and things like that, so she does have to have some areas that she would be able to have access to, and I think that's probably the most comfortable she'd be with like showing as far as that goes too. Just because I feel like, especially near her arms, that's where it's like the most dense. That's where you'd see the most of like the like tonal shift I mentioned earlier about like all of the color changing and things like that, how deep or how dense it gets. And so I went with the legs just because I feel like all of the color, unless she's sitting like she is right now, is sort of located probably like around her ankles, so she can cover it with her socks and things like that. But anyways, back to before. I didn't want to cut her hair short just because I feel like her hair is another way that she does use to cover like her neck and things like that, and like occasionally like the sides of her face or the front if she has her bangs down, things like that. So I really didn't want to make it too short. So instead of going with like the white bottle cap, I thought if I still wanted to keep her hair long but still keep that bottle cap in mind, I put a little blue bun, or little blue bun, it is a blue bun, but it's not blue yet. I put a little bun on the top of her head to sort of signify like the top of a cap, and then I made it dark blue just because I really needed a lot more value in the piece. So you'll see me do that later, but I basically was basing it off of like a Dasani water bottle instead of like a, I don't know, like an Ozarka or something, just something to get more blue in there. And then these obviously are not her official colors. I'm gonna change some of it up later. Most of it, like her skin obviously is that color, but like her clothing probably isn't gonna be all blue. She'd be incredibly monotone if that were the case. But for the challenge, obviously, I did want to go with a lot of blues. So now, getting back into the challenge itself. It was definitely a challenge. I know I said it was a little bit easy because most of my supplies were Copic markers, but that was also what made it a little bit difficult, is like I couldn't decide for my art supplies that were like non-Copic markers. Like I have some fine liners, I have color pencils, I have a few mild liners that I use. They're like these like highlighters that are dual-ended, but I could not decide like what was enough when it came to using these. Like for some of the fine liners, like I did the lettering on her shirt, which by the way, it says "You're thirsty." I hope, but it's supposed to say "You're thirsty" on it. And so I lined that, and then I was like, it was really hard for me to decide, like, is that enough? Did I really use this art supply? I don't know. I had so many that I had to get through, so I was just hoping that, like, yeah, that's enough to use that. And so you'll see me do very little details. You'll see me multiple times just like line over something and then line over it again with a different color because I wasn't happy with how the color came out, but I still counted that as me using the art supply, which is kind of cop-outy, but I had a lot to get through, okay? So yeah, and then another sort of challenge about it was, especially with a color like blue, there is a lot that could be considered blue. So I had a lot of like darker blues, I had a lot of more violet tones, more cool tones, more like greenish tones, and so it was really hard for me to like figure out, I suppose, like the placement of it, where it would look the best, especially because, like I said, there's so many different tones. Like her shorts were really hard. I couldn't like find a lot of colors to like balance that. It's incredibly like blue, gray, green. I don't really have a lot of colors like that, and so I had a really hard time trying to balance that out. So I tried like with her socks, it started out as a light baby blue. I would add a lot of like green marker to it, like with I have a few Crayola Super Tips, and then I had some what are they called? Those like Bic felt tip pens. I can't remember what they're called at the moment, but I used a few of those just to like sort of line the edges of her socks and hope that that would like bring that color out a little bit more. I used a mild liner on the like rolled part of her shorts that would make it look like a little bit like it was lighter, but it was sort of the same color behind it. And then I did the ruffle on her shirt the same color. But yeah, it was really hard sort of like trying to balance all of the different tones that were in this. I think I did okay. I hope you guys think the same, or if you think I did a terrible job, let me know. Help me. That's the biggest thing in art, is you need to be able to ask for help. So like if you're in a situation like me and I'm like, I don't know if that was a successful technique or not, take feedback. It will help you in the long run. But yeah, I guess maybe I could talk a little bit about her personality. So this is still a work in progress. I'm not 100% sure exactly how I feel about her personality. I had some people telling me that I should make her be like a really bubbly and fun character, and then I had some others that were like, she looks like she'd kind of be really bossy, and like I'm not sure, because like in some ways, like I guess with sort of her aesthetic, she does look like an exact mix of the two. It's like from the waist up, she looks very stern, very like sort of put together, and then from the waist down, she looks sort of like she's I don't know, kind of like hipstery, like with the long socks and the little rolled up high-waisted shorts, stuff like that. So I can't decide. Like maybe I'll do like a poll and you guys can help me. What do you think would be best for her? I think I can see it both ways, not just in her aesthetic, but like I guess when I was making her like somebody suggested that I make her be really fond of plants, and I thought that was a really good idea, like, because obviously she's made of water. It'd be really cute, like, I guess side hobby to have her be like a sort of freelance botanist sort of thing, because her power obviously would probably make her have an incredible green thumb. And so I thought that was cool, and I thought that would be like really sweet. So I guess that sort of ties into like the bubbly sort of thing, just because I feel like she'd like have all these flowers around her all the time and things like that. But I don't know, like, I think it's the glasses. I think legally when anime characters have glasses, they have to be sort of outwardly stern. You got a few characters that on the inside, or sometimes if you get them around the right people on the outside, are very fun-loving. Tanya. But, yeah, I guess I really can't decide, so let me know. Let me know, what do you guys think? And then so finally, I want to address the lack of upload last week. I am so sorry. There were a lot of technical issues with this video. I decided to film in a different location because I'd been having a lot of trouble with my setup in the new room with the desk. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Might need to get a new tripod, but yeah. So I moved locations and I was struggling with trying to get the angle right and things like that. And then my laptop has just been going through it. It's been super laggy and really, like, just altogether real messy. And then obviously, as you guys probably know, I started up commissions. So I've been doing some of those, and that's been really fun. So that all led me to not be able to upload last week, and I am very, very sorry, but I promise uploads will resume as normal. Laptop's been doing a little bit better. Don't know about the setup still, but I will record anyway. I will figure it out. I will make sure I get these videos out for you guys. And I want to thank y'all so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!